Now I am going to present an overview of the basic part modeling exercise, and then I will create the part in the lessons that follow. When taking the CSWA exam, it is recommended you spend the first 5 minutes viewing each of the 14 questions before beginning the exam. It is important to know how the part is going to be modified in later questions, which directly affects how you initially create the part. This is called design intent. So let's do that. On this first screen, we see we are modeling the basic part called roller stud, and this is step 1. The directions tell you to model the part in SOLIDWORKS and to save the part after each question in a different file in case it must be reviewed later. This is also good practice in case of a computer crash. Below this, we have units, number of decimal places, part origin, and a note stating that all holes extend through the entire part unless shown otherwise, along with material and density. We are also given 3 values for dimensions A, B, and C, which should be seen on the next screen. After you model the part, you will check your part model mass against one of the 4 choices. Remember, if your mass is not within 1% of one of the choices, you will need to return to SOLIDWORKS and troubleshoot your model. When building these parts, you will be provided pictorial views, like you see in this screen, and drawing views shown on the next screen. Let's go to the next screen of step 1. On this screen, you will find the dimensions necessary to model the part, along with dimensions A, B, and C. Because these 3 dimensions are labeled with letters, you can rest assured these values will change in step 2. Now let's take a look at the part. This part consists of 3 cylinders. The diameter 57 and diameter 44 cylinders are concentric, while the diameter 28.5 cylinder is eccentric, as you can see in the front and right side views. You will also notice we have 2 flats that are parallel to one another, shown in the top view and the pictorial view, along with a flat on top of the part with a through hole. The last feature we have is an extruded cut feature at a size of 6 by 32 millimeters. To summarize, you will use the directions, the pictorial views on the previous screen, and the drawing views on this screen to create the basic part model. Once the model is created, you will check the mass of your part, and keeping your fingers crossed, your mass matches with one of the 4 choices. Once you complete step 1, you can move on to step 2. So let's do that. In step 2, you will see we have a screen showing new pictorial views, along with the next screen showing the modified drawing views. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have the same directions at the top. However, the A, B, and C values are different, along with a new D value. If we look at the drawing views, you can easily locate dimensions A, B, and C and modify the dimensions based on the new values. As noted earlier, we have a new dimension D of 30 degrees. The extruded cut feature, with no draft in step 1, now includes a 30-degree draft in an outward direction. This is a prime example of why you should review all 14 questions before beginning the exam. Because of the 30-degree draft in step 2, it directly affects the plane you selected for your sketch for the cut extrude feature in step 1. Had we selected the wrong plane to create the sketch, the modification of this feature would be more difficult and time-consuming. So this gives you an idea of how basic parts will be presented in the CSWA exam. 2 of the 14 questions in the CSWA exam will be dedicated to basic part modeling. You will be given a simple part with a few dimensional values replaced with letters. In the next question of the exam, you will be provided with new values for these dimensions. You will modify these values along with an addition or modification to the part itself. One last item to mention is step 1 of the basic part modeling is a multiple choice question, where step 2 is a fill-in-the-blank question. This will wrap up the overview of the basic part modeling exercise.